Hello and welcome to another Arkeys video and to a new week on Gran Turismo 7. And yes, this is not race A, this is race C at Watkins Glen. To be honest, when I saw that race A for the third time within a rather short time period is at special stage Route X in a selection of the cars chosen by Polyphony, I wasn't really up for that one. It was boring the first two times. I'm not doing a third video on that one. So instead we're jumping into race C. It's Watkins Glen. I like that track. We are in Group 3 cars. I need to practice in those cars. And we also have relatively high tire wear, which is going to be a challenge with me being on the controller. I did two races, one in the American servers and one on the EMEA servers, and let's just get straight into the first one. And despite this being around midnight on the west coast of the American region, we still have a fair level of driver rating in this one. And I'm starting from the back without a qualifying time. I just need to feel this one out. I have done a bit of practice, a bit of qualifying on the soft tires on the EMEA account for later, but I also have to learn how to drive with the hard tires. I'm immediately under pressure from the Porsche from behind there. That is usually a strong car out of the corner. Someone has had a moment there, so we are up one position and we are coming up the hill towards the bus stop. At least this car seems to have a bit better straight line speed than the Porsche coming up the hill. And we are looking for the 300 board as a reference, making sure not to overcook the chicane on the cold hard tires. I've also put on a tiny bit of traction control just to keep things in check. We've got someone sliding on the inside there. I think there was some contact involved in that one. We are up into P11, coming down the hill. And I am running a bit wide in that corner. You have to really go for the inside, because if you're running too wide, it's really tricky to get the car back in. Here it's about finding a late apex, or so I've heard. I'm not really finding any apex, almost finding a wall, as I almost lost the rear end there. But we are hanging on to the drivers in front. They are going side by side into this corner. That's going to be slow. So we managed to stick with them, at least for now. Now around this corner, be careful on the exit. Yeah, I'm going up to third gear, but still a bit of a slide. You really have to find a late apex for a lot of those long corners. On this one here, just not run wide. And now the final corner. We survived lap 1, and just ignore me missing the apex by a lot there. The Porsche behind me, he has a lot more confidence. He is really getting close to me now. Yeah, the driver ahead of me picked up a penalty, so now we just have to try to stick with him until the penalty zone. We're coming around this corner. Once again, I really messed up this time. This time I really went wide. I need to learn to deal with these hard tires along with the full weight of the fuel at the start of the race. But we managed not to completely lose it. There was a bit of a slide and a bit of contact in front of me. Yeah, a bit rude just going straight through the ghosted car, but that was really the place to go for me there. And we are coming around this corner. Now the Porsche is really getting a run on me. I had a bit of traffic and I am on the inside and I am getting squeezed a bit there. There's a bit of contact a couple of times. I'm trying to keep the car in check, and after that the Porsche lost it. When we did the race, I thought I actually caused that, but I can see now that I didn't have anything to do with that bit of it. The GTR is pitting already after lap 2. That's a brave choice, to be honest. Let's see how that turns out for him. And we are jumping ahead to my first bigger mistake. I've already had a few mistakes, but as we're coming up the hill, the car snaps on me mid-corner, and that ends up with me running wide. And despite me losing tons of speed, that still is counted as a corner cut, so I get a nice half-second penalty slapped into my face on top of that. I just have to deal with that, and we have to wait the entire lap to serve that one. So this was exactly one lap later. And since I've already lost some time, I might as well try to come in at the end of lap 4. I'm not sure if I can keep the tires alive, but we will see. Have to remember I am on the controller, and the front wear is tricky to manage because you're not really that much in control of how much you're turning the front wheels. By the way, I have put on a bit of a traction control again because it seems like the pit crew are keeping the fresh tires in the deep freeze, so they are really cold, even the soft tires, for the first lap or so, at least for the first half lap or so. But now I'm very quickly catching up to P12, and I thought, oh no, this is going to cost me some time, because he looked a bit sketchy, but fortunately he had good awareness, and here he just lets me through. I'm not expecting to just be let through, but it was good that he recognized that I was coming fast on better tires. We're going to jump to the start of lap 8 because not much happened between then and now, and we get past another driver. He was ahead of me before I pitted, so we actually got a position there. We're coming up the hill. I have turned off TC again, and I am beginning to wonder whether my front tires will last to the end of the race. Later this lap, someone is serving a penalty, and that brings me closer to the cars in front. And yeah, let's just get around this corner. And now the car in front overtakes the Supra, which is a couple of positions up there. It gets the overtake done around here. The Supra seems to be really struggling with the grip at this point of the race. And yeah, I'm just tucking in behind, and I can already see now that I have got much better grip in the corners, despite my tires slowly starting to fade as well. We're coming into turn 1. I'm having a look, but I'm not going to go for it because that will just make us both really slow. I'm trying to get a good run out of the corner, and you can see I've got better traction coming out of there. So we get past on the inside. He wasn't defending that one, so we got the position, and we are jumping ahead in this one. Now we are towards the end of lap 9. There is some traffic ahead. There's also a yellow flag. I think that's someone further ahead spinning. They are fighting, going side by side almost through that corner. And we are jumping to the very last lap of the race. The McLaren runs wide. That's one penalty to be served ahead of me, so I just have to keep up with these guys. And coming through the bus stop, there is a small puff of smoke. There might have been some contact. Now we've got 2 penalties ahead who needs to be served later on this lap, so I just want to stay close. I've still got a little bit of front tire left on the left hand side of the car. This corner is no issue, but the uphill corner coming up here, that's a tricky one. Need to be careful, just staying behind the McLaren. I'm coming in too narrow. I needed to square off that a bit more, but we managed to keep it going. Just room for a small Scandinavian binning champion on the outside there, and we got those 2 positions, and that is the penultimate right hand corner. Now we've got a couple of left hand corners. They will be just fine. And now we are jumping to the very last corner in this race. I'm going really slow. By the way, that's the DTR who pitted after lap 2, so good job there. He made that one work. It's a close finish between the 2 of us, but we finished the first race in P6, and now we are jumping back to the EMEA servers. And now it's 9:30 where I live. This is race number 2 of this week, and I am ending straight up in top split lobby. I know it's early doors, so I wouldn't be here if there were more drivers racing. I've got some really fast drivers starting without qualifying time from the back. I'm putting on traction control, and I can already see we've got Disco Stew. He's coming in fast behind. What I didn't know at the time was that Disco Stew was actually on the soft tires, and yeah, and here he's actually trying to give me a small push on the inside. That unfortunately also made me push the German on my outside a little bit. And here I am just trying to brake early, and we are letting Disco Stew through here. And already we have a World Tour driver right behind us. We've got Consta behind us in the old Supra. Yeah, I'm coming in a bit narrow and a bit slow. And here, as we come up to this corner, and this was clearly my mistake, I am braking too early. I couldn't really see when the 200 board was coming up, so I caught both drivers behind me a bit by surprise, and Consta lost out on that one because he got caught on the outside there. But that was just me being overcautious because I couldn't really see where I was going, not deliberate, and we are making our way towards the 2 final corners on this first lap. Just making sure not to run wide, but unfortunately I completely missed the final corner, and the German driver goes through. I actually found out that that is Naked Ape, a driver I already know, but he had a slightly different name on this account. We're coming into turn 1, and here I was more focused on Consta right behind me, who was actually being really patient with me, so I completely messed up the corner, ran wide, and I thought, well, I've already got the penalty, I might as well just run wide completely and not try to salvage anything from that first corner. And sure enough, I got a penalty, only half a second, and I've got another driver on my outside. I'm just going to back out of this one, if I remember correctly. And Consta is still just being cautious behind me, and behind that you can see the old GTR as well. That's also one of the fast drivers starting from the back. And yeah, I've got that penalty to serve, so I'm just trying to stay alive here. And I think as we come up to the right hand corner, yeah, no one is really trying to do anything crazy behind me, which is highly appreciated. So I'm just making my way over to the right hand side so I can serve my penalty and get these 2 drivers ahead of me. So now I've got some breathing space. Here I almost go into the back of Consta. That would have been rather embarrassing after him being rather patient with me. But at least, as mentioned, now I can relax a bit and just concentrate on my own driving. It's always a tiny bit stressful to have those fast guys coming through from the back. Now they are pitting after lap 3. I have to go for another lap. There's no chance I am keeping my tires alive. I'm coming in after lap 4. We had a German driver, Van VR, ahead of me. He's going for another lap. So as we come out, I am all by myself, but I've still got Danny racing behind me, also a very fast, and if I remember correctly, also a World Tour driver, and he caught up really quick, and we're coming up the hill, and he is thinking about it, and I'm not going to defend this one. It is faster for me to just get Danny ahead of me as soon as possible, so I can maybe hang on to him for a corner or 2 and then just concentrate on my own driving. And now we are going to jump ahead a big chunk, because from now on it's just me trying my best to set some reasonable laps. We are having a quick stop here at the bus stop as Van VR unfortunately ended up in the wall. That was a free position for me, but we are jumping ahead. This is still just me trying to get this big M6 around the track. And now we've got a couple of hard tire runners in front of me. I noticed that Naked Ape in front of me pitted from soft tires to hard tires. So I am on the better tires, but my tires will be rather second-hand soon as well. Coming up the hill on lap 9, I am getting a run on Naked Ape. He doesn't defend it, so I am taking the inside, and now I really have to not bin it coming into the bus stop. It's a slightly more narrow angle, and it would be so embarrassing if I just binned it in front of him and made us both crash, but I made it through. And next up is the Spanish driver, who I suspect is on hard tires as well, but I'm not totally sure. And we actually had a rather nice battle here at the end of lap 9. I am coming into this corner on the outside, and he is giving me room on the outside, and I'm keeping my nose in on the outside, and here I was actually ready to back out of it, but he is also sort of backing out of it, so there's still room for me on the outside, and now I have the inside. Just make sure to stay tight to the corner, and we actually got that position. That was a nice little battle. Now we've got Disco Stew ahead of me, who I know is on the hard tires, but it is the final lap and my tires are pretty toast at the moment. Here, Disco Stew makes a rather big mistake, the same one I have done earlier this morning, running wide in that corner. So we are getting close now, and you can see on my rear tires I still got better traction, so we are coming up the hill, and I am keeping my nose on the inside here. And can we make it through? This is a tricky corner. It's easy to run wide. He's giving me plenty of room, to be fair, and I am giving room on the exit. We are still side by side, so now I am on the outside, and I managed to hang on to it on the outside. Really good racing with Disco Stew here, and here it looks like he finally gave that one up. And as we come into the final corner with rather dead tires, I noticed there was a bit of a get-together behind me. Looked like a racing incident. I've got a tiny bit of front tire left, and we finished this one in P9. 3 fast guys got past me, but I only lost 2 positions. So in a way, with all those A+ drivers in this one, I managed to still keep my dignity intact. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.